Hello. BYOT. Bring your own terms. Bring your own terms. That's the name of the game to play while you're bored. You'll see why it's named that in a second, but it's not a very clever name because I just came up with it before this video. Before this, it had no name. But the aim of the game is to make as many sentences with words starting with given letters and such that that sentence makes sense. And that's a weird phrase, but I will show you with an example. So I'm going to come up with some letters, and let's say there's four of them. Ideally, I'd say like 3 to 5, just like guesstimating, because I've only play tested with four. So 4 letters, HROI was the one that I came up with earlier using a random letter generator. That's too small. HROI. So there are 4 letters here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that means that I will make a sentence with 4 words in it. No more, no less. That's the requirement. And the sentence must make sense. So one that I came up with was hungry rhinos opine indigestion. So it makes sense because it's like, oh, there's these hungry rhinos that ate so much, and they're like opining about being indigested, like getting indigestion from eating so much or eating so fast or whatever. And you'll notice that it's hungry H, rhinos R, opine O, indigestion I, HROI. So let's say House representatives obey institution or institutions. House representatives obey institutions. HROI, and it makes sense. Like a House representative obeying like a prior institution like the United States government, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this game can obviously be played on your own, and if you play it on your own, it's really just for as long as you want it to go, or as long as like you can make it go. Quotations are allowed, so it's like you can like put indigestion in quotes if you needed it to, and also commas are allowed. So like if you need to like do like split two like the sentence in half so that it's like still makes sense, you can do that, even if it's um, missing a letter or something, like missing a word. So like is would be one that is probably normally missing. And then a comma would make it make more sense in like some scenarios. So like if there's an S, then I could do yada yada says quote this. And so like if this were an S, it'd be hungry rhinos say ice cream because they want ice cream. So that would be an example of that where you can put quotes and then the sentence still makes sense. So as long as you can make it make sense, you can use whatever grammatical rules you want. You cannot use like names like Henry, but I think honestly, city names, like most proper nouns are allowed. The only reason I don't allow like person names is because and that's subjective person name because you can define anything as a person name. But I would say like a generally accepted person name, maybe like look up popular names and it's like in the top like 10,000 or 5,000 or however many, whatever you want to establish as your subjective rule, or don't listen to this rule at all. Now there are 2 different ways of playing this with a group. The first way, or there are 3 different ways. One I just came up with. The first way is first to 10. So you split the group into however like any even number of people, and then you get your prompt, and then you come like you race to see who can come up with 10, and then obviously each group has to approve of the other group's answers within a reasonable degree. And if your friends hate each other, then you're gonna have to get a impartial judge on the side to determine what things are valid and what things aren't, so that you don't sabotage each other when you try and judge each other's prompts. And then, if one of them is invalid, then that group loses. Like if one of them is just makes no sense at all, then that group loses. Or you can maybe come up with like a redo system. 2 would be most per time. So you get a set amount of time, and then each group does however many they can, and then you eliminate the invalid ones using either an impartial jury of sorts or judge, or you can invalidate each other's if you actually trust each other. And then the most amount of valid answers within some set amount of time, that group wins. And then 3 is best sentence. So then you can do this one in groups or individually, as in like this must be done in a group, but you can split that group, or you can do 1v1v1v1. But this couldn't really be done on your own, like literally individually. It has to be with a group. So you all split up and you make your own sentences, and then you do all your prompts, or like you do all your answers, and then you pick the one that you like the most. And reminder, this is a set amount of time. You pick the one you like the most, and then you throw it out into the group, and then everyone takes a vote on which one they like best. And however much, like if you want to do a majority rule, like the highest voted one, or the maybe it needs 50%, or whatever criteria you want to set for what a winning sentence is. That's your choice. And then also, you could have runoff votes if there are 2 tied ones. And I wouldn't recommend doing this in 2 groups, because then everyone's just going to vote for themselves. So that wouldn't be very fun. I think 1v1v1v1 is very useful. And this is just the group versions. And then individually, you could do most per time and try and beat yourself. And then I like an individual too. But then individually, you really can just do, well, now I'm looking at the parentheses. You really can just do till exhaustion. Because there isn't really any group to vote on or anything. So you just write as many as you can come up with. So yeah, that's the new game, BYOT. If you like this video, then you should watch the letter game video, which is another interesting word game that you can play on your own. But yeah, have a good day and have fun distracting yourself in class, though you should be paying attention.